we are on the Real Programming channel. It is about HTML and CSS. My name is Andrei. This is our 47th lesson. I greet you. We will talk about adding a little style. Chapter 7. Getting started with CSS. I was told there be CSS in the book. So far you've been concentrating on learning HTML to create the structure of your web pages. But as you can see, the browser's idea of style leaves a lot be desired. Sure, we could call the fashion police, but we don't need to. With CSS you're going to completely control the presentation of your pages, often without even changing your HTML. Could it really be so easy? Well, you are going to have to learn a new language. After all, Webville is a bilingual town. After reading these chapters, watching this channel lesson, great to learn the language of CSS. You are going to be able to stand on either side of Main Street and hold a conversation. You are not in Canvas anymore. Remember the Wizard of Oz? Well, this is part of the book where things go from black and white to color. You've been a good sport learning about markup and structure and validation and proper syntax and nesting and compliance. But now you get to really start having some fun by styling your pages. But no worries, all those HTML push-ups you've been doing aren't going to waste. In fact, you're going to see that a solid understanding of HTML is crucial to learning and using CSS. And learning CSS is just what we're going to do over the next several chapters. Just to tease you a bit on these two pages, we've sprinkled a few of the designs you are going to work with in the rest of the book. Quite a difference from the pages you've been creating so far, isn't it? So what do you need to do to create them? Learn the language of CSS, of course. Let's get started. Over here on Webville's trading spaces. No tap on the latest relative TV, no problem. Here is a recap. Take two neighbors, two homes and $1,000. The two neighbors which homes and using the $1,000 totally redesign a room or two in 48 hours. Let's listen in. Okay, let's go some design in this place. This is, and this bedroom needs some serious help. This is good. Of course, in the Webville edition of the show, everyone talks about design in CSS. If you're having trouble understanding them, here's a little translation tip. Each statement in CSS consists of a location like bedroom, a property in that location, like drops or carpet, and the style to apply to that property, like the color blue or 1-inch tiles. Using CSS with HTML. We are sure CSS has a bright future in this home design category, but let's get back to HTML. HTML doesn't have rooms, but it does have elements, and those elements are going to be the locations that we're styling. Want to point the walls of your P elements read? No problem. Only paragraphs don't have walls, so you are going to have to settle for the paragraph's background color property instead. Here's how you do that. The first thing you do is select the element you want to style, in this case the P element. Notice in CSS you don't put around name. Then you specify the property you want to style, in this case the P element background color. Show you what I'm talking about. This, and you are going to set the background color to red and then put a semicolon. There is a colon in between the property and its value. Place all the styles for the P element in between brackets. We call the whole thing a rule. You could also write the rule like this. Here all we've done is remove line add line breaks. With HTML you can format your CSS pretty much as you like. For login rules you'll usually want to add some line breaks and indenting to make the CSS more readable for you. Wanna add more style? You can add many properties and values as you like in each CSS rule. Say you wanted to put a border around your paragraphs too. Here's how do you want to do that. So all you have to do is add another property and value. That is 1 pixel thick, solid and gray. The P element will have a border. Brain power. Say you have an aim element inside the paragraph. If you change the background color of the paragraph, do you think you also have to change the background of the em element so it matches the background color of the paragraph? There are no dumb questions. Does every P element have the same style, or can I say make two paragraphs different colors? That's CSS rules we've used so far define the style for all paragraphs, but CSS is very expressive. It can be used to specify styles in lots of different ways. For lots of different elements, even subsets of elements, you'll see how to make paragraphs two different colors later in this chapter. How do I know what properties I can set on an element? Well, there are lots of properties that can be set on elements, certainly more than you'd want to memorize in any case. You're going to get quite familiar with the more common properties in the next few chapters. You'll probably also want to find a good CSS reference. There are plenty of references online, and O'Reilly says Pocket Preference is a great little book. Remind me why I am defining all this style in separate language rather than in HTML. Since the elements are written in HTML, wouldn't it be easier just to write the style in HTML too? You're going to start to see some big advantages to using CSS in the next few chapters. But here is a quick answer. CSS really is better suited for specifying style information than HTML. Using just small bit of CSS, you can create fairly large effects on the style of your HTML. You're also going to see that CSS is a much better way to handle styles for multiple pages. You'll see how that works later in the chapter. Getting CSS into your HTML. You know a little about CSS syntax now. You know how to select an element and then write a rule with properties and values inside it. But you still need to get this CSS into some HTML. First, we need some HTML to put it in. In the next few chapters we are going to revisit our old friends Starbus and Tony and his Segway journal and make things a little more stylish. But who do you think is dying to have their style at first? Of course, the head first long guys. So here is the HTML for the head first long main page. Remember, in the last chapter we fixed things up a little and made it proper HTML. Would you have expected any less of us? Now we're adding some style text is the easiest way to get style into your pages, but not necessarily the best way. We'll come back to the later in the chapter and see another way. So this is code. Here's what we're interested in, the style element. To add CSS style directly to your HTML and opening and closing style text in the head element, your CSS rules are going to go right in here. Adding a style to the long. Now that you got the style element in your HTML, you're going to add some style to the long to get a feel for writing CSS. This design probably won't win you any design awards, but you gotta start somewhere. The first thing we're going to do is change the color, something to match those red long couches of the text in the paragraphs. To do that, we'll use the CSS color property like this. The color maroon. The property to change the font color is named color. You might think it would be font color or text color, but it's not. We're setting the text to a lowly maroon color that happens to match the long couches. The P selector selects all the paragraphs in the HTML. Cruising with style, the test drive. And we'll talk about this in the next lesson. And this concludes our lesson 47. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, put likes, share with friends, comment, eat bananas, chocolate and nuts, drink more water for the effective work of our brains. Bye!